your fourth year teaching, correct?
That's correct.
And you were originally asked to co-chaperone this trip, correct?
Yes, I was supposed to be a chaperone at the beginning of the trip with Mr. David Hughes.
And you say originally you had no problem going on the trip because it'd be good to get away, correct?
That's correct.
And when Dana was stricken with appendicitis, it looked like the trip was going to be canceled, correct?
Can you please repeat that?
When Dana was stricken with appendicitis, it looked like the trip was going to be canceled, correct?
Is that in my,
Yes,
that's
that's
in
here.
Okay, yes, correct.
And you say it was going to be a nightmare to give back the money to the students, correct?
Are you again referring to my?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
And again, you say it in your affidavit, it would be a nightmare to hear all the complaints from the parents, correct?
Because of all the complications, because all the students wanted to go on this trip and they worked so hard, and I knew how good of an experience it would be and how it would be taken away from their experience.
Oh, thank you. But you weren't too upset, you say, because you really wanted to see the new Star Wars movie, correct?
At that time, I was planning on going to a Star Wars movie.
And you were especially excited to see it when it opened at midnight, correct?
I wasn't especially excited, but yes, I was planning to go.
Because you did it for the last movie, correct?
That's correct.
And this is your first year chaperone, correct?
Yes.
You're the only chaperone, correct?
Unfortunately, Mr. Dana Hughes did not make the trip, and the actual rules by the school have been that they were changed to fit the 1 to 20 student
Oh,
teacher.
so there was originally a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio policy, correct?
That's correct.
And there were 20 students on the trip.
That's also correct.
And you found handling 20 students to be a bit trying originally, correct?
After being aware, after Mr. Manning spoke to me about how that the hotel itself, who handles such a large conference many times over the past years, and it's
So
seen
that's
that
my question. You said you found it to be a bit trying originally, correct?
I was answering your question.
Objection. She's not letting me answer the question.
When this was not responsive, she was talking about.
Just answer the question more. But just let's both. You don't cut off the witness if she's unless she's answering. If she's not answering, make a motion for it.
Okay.
From now on, so to repeat the question.
So you say you found handling 20 students to be a bit trying, correct?
I found it trying until I was aware that it would be the same procedure that the hotel usually goes under, and the hotel which hosts many conferences in which no instances have occurred.
Okay. And Dana Hughes had a meeting a week before the trip, correct?
A meeting that was only mandatory for students to attend.
So you weren't present, correct?
I was not present because I was not mandated to be at that meeting itself.
You say in your affidavit you forgot to go, correct?
I forgot to go because it was not important, because I was not mandated to go to that
You
meeting.
say in your affidavit you forgot to.
Objection. She's badgering the witness. The witness has answered the question 3 times now, and she continues to ask.
Asking and answering is not an objection.
That's why I said badgering.
Badgering is so succinct. She did.
I'll move on. Prior to the trip, you filled out an online form, correct?
Can you please repeat the
Prior to the trip, you filled out an online form,
That's correct.
and you checked yes to have the refrigerator is empty, correct?
Of course, usually hotels in these such refrigerators have liquor in them, and none of the students were of age.
So you knew that there was no available food in the hotel rooms, correct?
Within the hotel rooms themselves, but I also knew that as normal hotels, they usually have vending machines around the area.
And you were required to perform 2 curfew checks, correct?
As I did.
You complete one at 11 o'clock, as you said.
That's correct.
And you state that a curfew check consists of knocking on each of the doors until someone answers, and then letting the other students announce that they are there, correct?
I stated that that's what I did the first time, but a curfew check, according to the procedures, actually just calls for a room-to-room check.
Okay, so at midnight, you say that you did not do a curfew check as previously described?
I did a room-to-room check of each tape on the door, so I checked each tape on each door, therefore being a room-to-room check of each of the students' hotel rooms.
And you state that there are potential problems with this masking tape, correct? That students could be, these other students get out, correct?
I made each student aware of these problems, but because it would be a minimal problem, because the only problem would be if a student was trying to escape, and that would be against rules and procedures itself. And also, like, I chose to use this tape trip because I previously performed one check at 11, and between that time, the students would probably be in bed by then, and it would be unfair to wake them up again.
Any further questions?
Are you direct?
Yes, Your Honor. At 12 o'clock, was the tape intact? What was the status of the tape on Avery and Pat's room?
It was intact in the exact same spot of which I placed it before.
In your opinion, what would that mean?
That would mean that the students deliberately put back the tape on their door because, like, as I previously stated, that's the method in which I was checking the students to see if they were in their rooms.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions.